Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today's reading is going to be a career reading. Obviously, this is what you signed up for when you clicked on this video. But before we get started, I do want to let you know that I offer private readings as well. You can check it out in the link down below. I feel like you probably already know the vibes. If you don't yet, then I will explain to you a little bit later. Oh wow. Group number 1, we already have your card here, but basically for today's reading, I just want to grab things that just wants to be known. Well, I have a specific spread that I have in mind. It's going to be situation, the truth of the matter, because you know how we sometimes have our own perception of our situation. In this case is about your career, and then the truth of the matter, like the objective bird's eye view of your career, and then we are going to get some guidance, which is actually from this deck. This is the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. This is the guidebook. For the tarot, I'm going to be using the Small Spells Tarot, which I will be shuffling as we get into your group. For now, I want to pick some cards for you so that you have something to kind of anchor yourself to choose from. Okay. What's group number 2? If you don't care about seeing the group being selected, then you can just skip on over to the timestamp where you can choose your group. Two and okay, 3. So we have our groups now. This is going to be group number 1, group number 2, group number 3. And I will not be revealing these cards right now. I will be revealing it later when you have chosen the group. But if you don't know how pick-a-cards work, I suggest, if you do know your human design, to use that, whether you're a sacral or an emotional authority. But in any case, just use your intuition with which one of these groups draws you in. Especially if you have a sacral authority, then you will feel that kind of bodily, like physical pull to one of these groups. If you have an emotional authority, then I suggest you kind of pause the video, put on some meditation music or just in silence. Go through your emotions, feel the things that are happening in your body, maybe think about your career, maybe think about the struggle that you are facing, or any concerns, any worries, or maybe any dreams. And then when you feel grounded, choose your group. Okay, so I think that's all for right now. We can now go on ahead to your group. Hi there, group number 1. This is going to be your reading. We already have your guidance card, which we will put aside for now. And we are going to be asking for some messages with the tarot about your situation, or do you want to come out there? Let's see what it is. Okay, 5 of Wands. This represents the situation of your career, competition, fierce competition. Oh, the cards are just wanting to flow out today. It usually takes such a long time for when I shuffle, but apparently everything is pretty clear. This is the actual situation, the truth of the matter, if you will, and we have the Chariot. Okay. Like I said, with the Five of Wands here, you might be thinking about changing up your career, and if so, this represents like the market being really competitive. Or if you are not thinking about changing up your job, then in your current work, there is a lot of competition. There's a lot of players who are playing in the field, and it has been pretty hectic, pretty chaotic, is what the Five of Wands usually represent. This is interesting though, because it seems like, because I was gonna say you were all kind of trying to aim for the same thing, but if you look at this image, like everyone is actually aiming for different balls, right? But still, you know, if we think about like a pool table, even though it's pretty big, but like if 5 different people are on the same thing and like trying to play, that's gonna be really hectic, and all the balls are just gonna bump into each other. So anyway, it is giving hectic. I kind of want to pull more cards to find out. Okay. King of Cups. Okay, interesting. This is representing your situation as well, still. Just a little bit of more information about the Five of Wands. So, the King of Cups is someone who is grounded. They are emotionally mature. So, that's very interesting because usually the Five of Wands depicts like this situation where people of different backgrounds are just really driven by their emotions, and just kind of like that more passionate, if we're trying to frame it in a positive way, passionate or sometimes very angry, and you know, just like butting heads. With the King of Cups though, yeah, this is all about like grounding and things. So honestly, I'm not sure, because when I see the Five Wands and then there's the King of Cups, then I would think that this is kind of like the advice, but this is representing the situation. So let's put that aside for now because I'm not really seeing the connection yet. But the truth of the matter is the Chariot, right? The Chariot is someone who is very focused. It is very much giving hectic. It's giving like being pulled and pushed in so many different directions. That might be how you are feeling in your current job or your career. But the truth of the matter is, I think you already know with the Chariot, like I think you already know where you want to be heading and where you want to focus your energy on, because the Chariot is being pulled in different directions, and yet using that pull, even though they're like pulling you in different directions, it kind of propels you forward, which, you know, that represents where you actually want to go, the trajectory that you have set yourself up to kind of go to, if that makes sense. So the truth of the matter is, this is just kind of noise. All this competition that you might be worried about is just kind of noise. Let's see what the guidance is to see a fuller picture of your reading. We have air, the element of air, open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. Okay, so that is the guidance for you, right? To remain open-minded, to not really close yourself up to like certain ideas, even though yes, you want to be focused, yes, you know where you're going, and you should always kind of like keep your eyes keep your eyes like laser focused on your destination, your purpose, whatever it is that you deem valuable in your life, because I feel like if you are stumbling upon this, then, and you are drawn to videos of mine, then I would think that you want to be living a life that really aligns with your values. And so, actually, I don't remember what I was gonna say. But anyways, the guidance here is for you to really kind of detach yourself and not get too much in your feelings, right? Not to be too swept into all this chaotic energy, and detach yourself and really be the observer. Meditation is really going to help you with that. That is a practice that is going to be very helpful. Be open to learning, right? The element of air is very much about the intellect. So you are being called to just focus on nourishing your brain. And this I was gonna say like use your brain, but that sounds so, I don't know, condescending. Is that the right word? I don't know, but that's not really what I meant. That's not my intention. I just mean engage in your brain and kind of use more of your logic instead of your emotions. Again, sometimes we need to just use our logic. As much as I love intuition and, kind of encouraging people to trust their intuition, trust what they're feeling and follow your intuition and things like that, right? And really be emotional. And, these are the things that I like to kind of promote on my channel to my clients and things like that. But in your case, because the guidance is represented by the element of air, you are being encouraged to kind of, step away from your emotions, take a step back from it, so that you don't get so swept into the chaos in your job. Whether that means, doing things a little bit more differently, right, in your current job. Or maybe you find that when you kind of distance yourself from your emotions and look at the situation a little bit in a more like clear-headed way, I don't know, maybe does that mean that you are realizing that this is not really aligned? If you have reached this part of the video, I would really appreciate you by giving a like. It's really going to help me get my videos reach a little bit more of a wide spectrum of people. You're gonna help me with spreading my mission to break intergenerational cycles. And if you are feeling a little bit more generous, then maybe consider buying me a coffee for this little reading that I have given you. If you have found it useful, it's going to be, obviously you don't have to. I'm just saying that I will really, really appreciate that, because that will really help fuel, my energy, not only physically with like a literal cup of coffee, but also, it's just filling my cup a little bit to do more of these readings. So thank you so much, group number 1, and subscribe if you would like to see more readings from me. Bye! This is going to be your reading. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle the tarot cards. If you missed it, I'm going to be essentially grabbing 3 main cards. 1 for your situation. Number 2 is the truth of the matter, the kind of objective view of your job or career. and then a card for guidance. So, before we get started, I do want to remind you that I also offer private readings that you can book in the link down below if you enjoyed this reading. For if you, maybe this is not the first time that we have seen each other. In that case, thank you so much for coming back. So this is the situation, truth of the matter, guidance, and then we also have the first card that you probably chose in the intro, which we will reveal together. Actually, why did I put it there? Let's see what it is. Capricorn. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. Okay. With your situation, we have the Eight of Cups. Haven't even showed you the card yet. Okay. Eight of Cups is all about moving on. It's not that you are unhappy with your job. I think your career is actually pretty good. You know? You're doing pretty well. Maybe you are being paid well, or maybe well is not really the best way to describe it. It's just like your career is alright. You know, your career is alright. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, you know? And you have recently realized that, hey, do you know what? Maybe it's time for a change. You're kind of starting to entertain the idea that you could have something better with the Eight of Cups here, especially with the energy of Capricorn. You know, the stereotype of Capricorn energy is just very career driven, very ambitious, realistic. And you know what? Because we have the High Priestess in the middle of this reading, and this is representing the objective, because like this is your perception, right? This is kind of the reality, I guess, when you are not so in it. The reality is if that is how you're feeling, then that is the right step for you. And with the Knight of Pentacles being the guidance here, the advice, you are being encouraged to take small steps. The Knight of Pentacles is in it for the long run. I feel like if you do decide to leave this current job, whether that be just, you know, to a different company, or maybe you want to completely like go 180, you know, completely pivot your career, whatever that is, whatever that feeling is. And there might be fear in there because we have the High Priestess. I feel like, you know, this is gonna be a really uncomfortable situation. This might not be a situation that you often find yourself in, or anyone for that matter. But anyway, the Knight of Pentacles, because this is in it for the long run, I feel like when you follow this, your intuition, you're going to find something that is going to last long. However, because we want to build something that has a strong foundation, we can't just throw ourselves in it and take on way too much. You know, you have to take tiny little steps towards, you know, finding a new job or career. this is just kind of reminding me of the concept of essentialism. If you have never heard about it, it is based, there's a book, the person who coined, the concept of essentialism is Greg McKeown. I think that's how you say his name. Essentialism is all about like only doing what is essential and putting aside the things, or like having the courage to leave things that are actually not very important to you. So with that, in essentialism, you always want to think about, before you take any kind of steps, you want to be thinking about, okay, what is my intention here? What is the goal? That is what you want to be spending most of your time on, so that you are laser focused. You absolutely know what you are aiming for. I highly recommend you check out that book, okay? So that when you do take action, you don't get sidetracked. And if you do get sidetracked, it's a little bit easier for you to like get back on course. It's going to be so much easier if you know what your intention is, what your essential intent is. So that is the advice with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like with this card as well, Capricorn, because my initial intent for this card was to be the guidance. So the guidance is, these are very earthy vibes. So it's all about practicality. The Pentacles is all about behavior. And the Knight of Pentacles is someone who is very mindful, okay? So ramp up your mindfulness, right? So that no matter, because the Knight of Pentacles, there might be a lot of thoughts going on in your head, a lot of emotion, right? With the Eight of Cups here, this is an emotional freaking situation. But the Knight of Pentacles, despite all the emotions, despite everything going on internally, no matter how chaotic, no matter how fearful you are, no matter what your mind says, if your mind starts saying like, don't do this, you're leaving your comfort zone, what are you talking about? What you have is already pretty good, right? You already have these 5, in this deck, you can see like birds here. You already have these 5 birds. What are you doing trying to chase these ones and leave these things? But the thing is, it's like, you have to kind of take that risk of chasing something else and leaving what you already have. And the risk that you are taking is that you might have, instead of only 5 cups, you might have 10. But that requires you to leave the 5, right? That you already have. And so, no matter what is going on, I think I haven't even finished that thought. No matter, with the Knight of Pentacles, no matter what is going on in your head, the Knight of Pentacles is able to control their behavior, okay? This is called behavioral sovereignty, which is a thing that I talk a lot about on my channel. So, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this to you already, but meditation is going to be a very helpful practice for you to do that, because that's what meditating is. It's just observing your mind, observing your emotions, even though like you're sitting there and your mind is just going, oh my god, this is so boring, this is so painful, I just want to grab a snack, I just want to walk on the fridge, I just want to do anything but sitting on my fucking ass right now. Like all these thoughts going on, and yet you still choose to sit in stillness, So that is the advice for your career. If you have reached this part of the video and you haven't clicked the like button yet, please do so. It's going to be incredibly helpful for my channel and my business and my mission to break intergenerational cycles, because that will indicate to YouTube that people like this video and my video will be pushed out to more people. Thank you so much if you have done that. And if you are feeling particularly generous, then why not consider buying me a coffee? Link is in the description, as with the link to book a private reading. Thank you so much, group number 2, and I hope I will see you again. If you click the subscribe button, then I will show up. Thank you so much again, group number 2. All the freaking best to chase your 10 of Cups, okay? Bye! Hi there, group number 3. Let's take a look at your career. So if you missed the intro, you're one of those cheeky ones that just wants to get to your reading. Which is alright, I do that. I am going to be pulling 3 main cards, which will reflect your situation, the truth of the matter. So many cards already want to come out. And the guidance for you. Okay, so we already have 2 cards. We're just gonna pull the guidance for group number 3. What is the guidance for group number 3? And I just want to remind you that I do also offer private tarot readings. Link is down in the description. Okay. We also have the card that you chose. Let's take a look. Fixed. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. Okay. So this is kind of like, depending on my intuition, it's gonna be the overall energy or the guidance. So, now, your situation, you have the 10 of Cups. Why are you here then, group number 3? I wonder. This is the truth. Oh, interesting. I did not do any reversals. However, this card did come out in reverse. So that is very interesting. I'm gonna leave it like that, because that might mean something. It might not. I don't know. I don't know yet. Okay. The Lovers in reverse, apparently. The guidance is Judgment. Oh my god. These are huge energies, group number 3. You have 2 main arcanas, which makes up the majority of your reading. Okay, so what is this, group number 3? Okay, so the 10 of Cups is the ultimate emotional fulfillment card. So you might be feeling very fulfilled in your career, although the 10 of Cups might also mean that you expect your career to be the source of happiness for you. Okay, that's it. Okay. You expect your career to be the source of happiness. However, that is not very realistic, my friend. I mean, honestly, you can. A lot of people derive so much fulfillment right, from their careers. It is possible. However, I'm just wondering if that is the healthiest way, if that is a very healthy way of living. Because we do have the Lovers in reverse here as the truth of the matter. And honestly, group number 3, the Lovers is all about, to me, it represents values. Wow, the sun is really peeking out. Let me actually close it so it's not. Hold on a sec. Okay, I think that's a little bit better so that I don't look like a ghost, which there's nothing wrong with looking like a ghost. Anyway, the Lovers to me is the card of values. It represents choice, okay? You know, reversals to me doesn't always mean it's the opposite. So I'm not saying that the truth is you have no choice. No, I think the Lovers in reverse is kind of pointing you towards misalignment. I think you might see this as a source of fulfillment, but I am wondering how true that is in your heart, okay? Because we are talking about the Lovers here. Truthfully, deep down, is that the truth? You know, because the Ten of Cups can be about like performance and, you know, performing this idealistic depiction of yourself or a situation. And I wonder if you are kind of performing this sense of fulfillment and happiness. I am very curious, group number 3, where is this coming from? Can we get a little bit more information about the Ten of Cups? About group number 3's situation. I want to gain a little bit more of an understanding of this. Knight of Cups. Okay, another Cups card. The Knight of Cups is about, like, how love is not a feeling, it is a choice. Knight of Cups is all about actively choosing to love, you know? Wow. There's a lot of love here for a career reading. So, yeah, that tracks because that's what I said, right? In the beginning, that you derive a lot of your happiness from your career. I think because Judgment is the guidance here as well. I think that, again, the truth of the matter is this career isn't actually as aligned as you have made it seem, or it's not as aligned as, like, I'm getting the sense that you are creating this narrative, right, in your head about how happy this job makes you feel. I'm just saying, because, like, obviously I'm so happy for you if you are happy in your job, okay? I'm just concerned if that is the only source of happiness for you, you know? Because what if you lose your job? What's gonna happen then? Right? If you plug that only source away, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if you, I don't know, something happens to the company that you work for, or maybe you are, you know, working for yourself, maybe you're self-employed. What if something happens to your job and, like, that makes you unable to work there anymore? You know, are you just gonna be completely depressed and, like, because I think emotional fuel is so important. And I'm just concerned if you're just kind of relying on one source to fill up your battery, you know? Like I said, it's really great if you're happy with it. I'm just concerned if it's the only source, because it's also very much giving, I guess this is my view as someone who has capitalism critical views. I don't want to impose, I don't want to push my beliefs onto you or anything. It's just really concerning that, and I am a freaking, victim of this too, okay? Do not get it twisted, okay? I have gone onto this trap as well of creating my business as even, this is my purpose, right? I am still there. I'm right there with you too. I'm concerned for myself, I just think, this kind of society where we give so much value into our career is just so problematic, because we are just serving the system of capitalism, which is a system that puts profit above all else, right? And I feel like, this system breeds a lot of suffering. And when we only value our careers and put it on a pedestal, we're kind of also participating in, keeping this system going. And I am honestly not about that. That is why I'm concerned. For us, okay? Again, I'm not just telling you, group number 3, I am right there with you, okay? I am also on this journey to decondition from hustle culture and, attaching so much of my worth and value and purpose to my job. Well, in my case, it's my business, Anyway, the advice, let's move on a little bit with your advice. Your advice is judgment. And I feel like judgment to me, how some things are within your control, some things are not within your control. Judgment is very much something that is not within your control. It's to me, it's the universe working, or, higher powers kind of sending you a message. And I think the advice is just to listen to that, right? Maybe you have been getting these nudges already, but you choose not to listen, or you don't even give yourself the space to listen to that nudges, right? So with judgment, it's really about hearing the call. And sometimes we do have to, because I mentioned this in one of the other groups. In group number 2, I was talking about essentialism, and this is also reminding me of essentialism in the sense that in that book, it was saying how when you don't make a choice, other people are going to make that choice for you. This is, I think, that I've never read judgment this way before, but I think it's a snake shedding skin as well, I just noticed. So this is all about rebirth, okay? You are stepping in, right? You're stepping into a new version of yourself. It's time for you to shed your skin, your old skin, so that you can have fresh baby skin. What was I gonna say about never really reading the judgment card this way before? I don't remember, so maybe you don't need to hear that. Along with judgment, we have fixed, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. Okay, we have Taurus here, and Taurus is also, as a Venus-ruled sign, Taurus is also all about values, right? So I think you're really being called to reevaluate what your values are. I'm honestly not super familiar with fixed signs. So let me see what it says in the guidebook. This steady force is established in its flow, it knows where it's going, and is persistent in its path. It's a solid, dependable energy. I'm going to show this to you as well. In Mother Nature's cycle, it's expressed mid-season when she's fixed in her rhythm. It's the secure tree with firm roots and developed branches. The energetics are, you already know what the energetics are. Clarify your intentions and remain patient with your process of becoming. Move forward with radical conviction, trusting that even that which seems chaotic or wrong weaves into your story of becoming. Release control while still showing up for yourself every step of the way. When you are grounded in integrity, you are exactly where you need to be. Yeah, so this is all about values and living in integrity with your values. So definitely have a little journaling session, about what it is that you value in your life. And remember, you are deeply loved and carried by your angels along your journey. They delight in your faith and send affirming signs and messages along the way. Keep your senses open to receive them, this card being the first of many. So this is a sign, okay? Group number 3, trust in the path of your life. So you are being encouraged to look for the signs. This is one of them. You being in this reading is one of them for you to really reevaluate your career, because this is not just about your career, this is about your life. Group number 3. And if you are having trouble with, knowing what it is that you want in your life, knowing that what it is that you value in your life, I can support you with that. I offer coaching, one-on-one coaching for people who want to figure that out, because I think that is a value of mine, I want to live in integrity with my values and not being swayed too much by all the shoulds in the world that doesn't actually align with me. So if you enjoyed that, then I have a few proposals for you. At the very least, please do give this video a like. It's going to be ultra helpful so that my video reaches more people. As you can see, I only have 180 subscribers or something like that. So if you like this video, it's going to help spread my videos to more people. The second encouragement that I want you to do is, if you found this helpful, if you're feeling extra generous, then maybe buy me a cup of coffee. The link is in the description. It's going to help me fuel these sessions and for me to do more of these free readings. Right? Thank you so much. Again, group number 3, if you are interested in exploring more about this, I can absolutely help you figure out what you want, live in integrity with your values via coaching or a private tarot reading. You can email me if you are confused or anything like that, tikaishuman@gmail.com, or just click the link in the bio in the description to book a session with me. Thank you so much. Bye.